Welcome to Behold. I'm Beth. Today, Craig and I have a very special guest. John Hatfield is one of our friends. He's also a longtime elder here at Arcade, and he recently took over as executive pastor. We're going to pick his brain about what it's like to be a Christian in the secular work world, but also how what he learned, his years of experience, and how they have transferred into seamlessly leading here at Arcade Church. It's a great show. Don't miss it. Here we go. Hey, Craig.
How you doing, Beth?
I'm good.
Yeah,
We've had quite the adventure.
Hey.
Hike.
We did.
Football season.
The great adventure, beautiful downtown Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Yes, I can't wait for people to hear our podcast with Irony.
I know, it's going to be
good. So fun.
Yeah, it's good. And it was just a great experience, and we'll talk about that in shows upcoming and stuff. But one thing that you were worried about, it wasn't the food, it wasn't any possible vaccinations, or diseases.
Nope. Mm-mm.
Why don't you share with our listeners, Sister Beth, what you are most concerned about in going to Brazil?
I have two words for you, Brother Hardinger. Giant lice.
Giant lice.
Is your head itching? Because mine is.
She was. We had one meeting where one of our team members who had lived down there mentioned that we might get head lice.
And I literally almost walked out of the room.
And the way that our wonderful sister Erica described it is they were gigantic.
Yeah, and they're so big you can just find them and pick them out and kill them.
Yeah.
I've had the misfortune of having regular size lice, but also my kids having it. And it is so gross. And it's like a whole thing to get rid. Anyway, it kind of, I guess, triggered a little...
I mean, I will admit, it was a little creepy when Erica talked about these giant lights. Because I'm thinking, oh my goodness, what it made me glad I had a lot of forehead because it was just, man.
Where he leads me, I will follow.
Where he feeds me, I will swallow.
What he feeds me, I will swallow. But giant head lice was close to being the line.
Well, fortunately, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
And so we're grateful for that.
Yep.
And we've got some great stories that we'll tell and all that kind of thing. So it's good. And we love Restoration Ministries.
Yes.
What an incredible ministry down there that they're doing in the favelas in Sao Paulo.
Yep.
So it was a pleasure and honor to serve them in that way.
Yeah.
So
well, do you want to introduce our guest or should I?
I don't really want to.
Okay.
Why don't you do it?
I will.
Yeah.
Friends, Romans, no, I'm just kidding. Countrymen, lend me your ears.
No, they're scratching their heads right now.
Oh, yeah. Hey,
Throw
stop
the headlights
scratching. Stop scratching. No one has lice. You don't have to worry about it. So Craig and I are super excited for our guest, but it's John Hatfield. He's our friend.
Yeah.
A longtime member and elder here at Arcade Church. You are now officially on staff.
That's right.
Yay!
Yes.
After so many years, we now have to respect you.
I know. It's about time.
No, now he gets paid for the work he does at Arcade Church instead of it being
that's true.
a volunteer service.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
We're glad to have you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
No, I'm glad to be here.
Yeah,
You came on staff officially. I don't remember what date.
May 13th.
May 13th.
officially.
Yeah. And you hit the ground running.
Yeah. Yeah, learned every possible hour I could with Brian before he headed off to Texas, and then went from there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, it's good to have you on staff.
Should we tell him?
The thing?
Yeah.
Let's wait.
Okay.
Let him find out on his own.
So far, so.
So, yeah, it's all right. Yeah.
Okay, John, let's be honest. John, you're a little nervous.
Just a little bit.
This isn't your normal thing.
No, I'm
right?
a behind-the-scenes guy.
So thank
not
you.
Not an on-camera guy.
Thank you for saying yes.
Of course.
So I know this is a stretch. Craig and I both know, like you said yes to us doing this. So thank you.
Absolutely.
And also we're going to try and make you laugh because hopefully that'll kind of dissipate the nerves a little
like
bit.
it.
We want real relaxed John, not
I don't know.
nervous John.
I would kind of the nervous John's kind of funny.
Okay.
Kinda like it.
It is kind of funny, huh?
Yeah, it is kind of funny.
Yeah.
Like we made Big John nervous.
That's
Hey-o.
true. That's true.
So now we know.
Yeah, now we know.
If you get a 7-footer in the room, just make him be in front of the camera, and that'll make him a little nervous.
Tall guys do not like focus. We get enough of it.
Interesting.
You know, because we've gone out several times, our wives and John and I and all that kind of thing. And it is amazing walking into a restaurant or a store or a game. We've gone to River Cats game. Mm-hmm. And I mean, heads turn.
Like gawking.
Oh, yeah. Constant.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Heads turn. And they want to know what team did you play for?
Exactly.
So what do you say? Do you just make up something?
Oh, anywhere from shoe size to what the height is to if I play basketball. Mm-hmm. I've said things like I'm 6'12". I've said things like the weather's the same up here as it is down there. Yeah. You name it.
Yeah.
Ton of comebacks.
You probably get used to that. I'm sure your wife, Heather, it's just normal for her.
100%.
I notice it just because, we go out not that regular, but when we do, I notice that, people are, because most people haven't come that close to someone who's 7 feet tall.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
They just really look up to you.
Yeah.
That's really?
True.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and I realized that.
Stop looking at me like that, Craig.
Oh, man, it's so bad.
Was that the laugh moment?
Did it work? No one's laughing but me.
We're getting there. You guys are warming up.
Okay, cool.
You're warming up.
Yeah.
All right, so let's jump in. We submitted some questions to you ahead of time just to give you time to process and think through them.
Yeah.
But we're going to start with a question not on the list. I'm just kidding. I just really wanted to make you nervous. This is really fun. John's my boss, and I have control right now. I'm with my two bosses.
That's true.
So here we go.
He's your direct boss.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
fire away.
You're
I'm
my
used to
indirect
questions.
boss.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No. Okay. In all seriousness.
Yeah.
Let's get this party started.
Okay, let's go.
So you spent 25 years in the corporate role.
I did.
Your whole career up until May 13th, you were moving up the ladder at Intel, right? One company, a big global company. And now here you are, the executive pastor at Arcade. Kind of a little bit of a career shift.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Tell us kind of the story about how you got here.
No, absolutely. So as you said, 25-year career in high tech at Intel. And it's rare for somebody to be at one company for their entire career, right? So literally out of college all the way up until last year, actually. And during that time, the reason why I never left is because I'm actually very grateful for everything Intel taught me. So much of what I am today, who I've become as a leader, is because of the experience, the smart people there, and everything that I've learned over the years in sales and marketing operations. And so I'm very grateful to everything Intel taught me. And I knew early in the career that I had a real passion for developing people, right? Like even just new hires that would come in, I would coach, and I just loved doing that. I had a passion for it. And so 20 of those 25 years, I managed people. And I'd say 17 years of those 20 years, I served as an elder here at Arcade Church. Yeah. So there was a nice complement of leading at Intel and then leading at Arcade. And it was actually fascinating how much the two roles and the two worlds complemented one another. I learned from both. I would bring in, concepts that we would do on the elder board into the leadership at Intel and vice versa. And they complemented each other very well. And I remember being an elder, I drew very close to the staff, right? And, we developed this kind of one team, elder board staff team. And, over those years, I thought, man, how cool would it be to work on a team like that? Needless to say, having no idea what was going to happen in the future. And then in June of 2024, Intel went through some pretty significant cost reductions, which included significant people cuts too. And so based on where they needed to get to, they offered these volunteer severance packages, and people who had been there at the company longer benefited with greater packages, right? Because it was based on tenure. So Heather and I prayed about this, and we felt like with the changes coming at Intel and some of the writing on the wall where the culture and the team influence that we had built was going away, it felt like my season there was coming to an end. Yeah. And so prayed with Heather, and we felt massively at peace that we don't know where God is going to lead us, but we know that my time at Intel is done. And so I accepted the package, and September 30th was my last day at Intel of last year. And we took a time of sabbatical where we just rested as a family through the end of the year. And I said, all right, hey, because of the package, I'll start looking, early 2025 for what's next. And this is the first time I've ever experienced like this in my life because, like I said, I've had a job since coming out of college.
Yeah.
And I had no idea where God was going to lead me. So the search started in early 2025. And then I'd probably say as we went into March, April, I was looking for something that was more local, community-based, had more of an eternal purpose, right? I was kind of done with the 24/7 global impact.
Produce.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Results, fast pace of, hit revenue, et cetera. So I ended up actually getting in touch with this nonprofit that I was actually getting very, very close to a possible hire as we were heading into April. And then Craig called and he presented an opportunity. Yeah. And with his opportunity, obviously, history is written at that point, but it was obviously something that was never on our radar, didn't expect, complete surprise. But the perfect marriage of what I did at Intel, my 17 years of eldership, the staff that I love, the church that I love. I mean, Heather and I got married here. My 3 kids grew up here.
Yeah.
All of my spiritual development, leadership development has been here. So unbelievably blessed and grateful to be here. And when I look back, I'm actually surprised at how this was obvious to God the entire time.
Yeah.
But it was quite the ride for me. And I wish I could say it was calm during the entire time, but God had a plan for me and he delivered on that plan.
Yeah. I was thinking as you were talking about when a few years ago you were leading the elder team, and that was when I became a director, and so I was invited to these elder meetings, and you started this one team. Kind of, it was like you were beating the drum of one team. And I look back on that, and it was like the Lord was seeding the staff to trust you, right? And then here you are. We've already had this trust built. First of all, you're known. Like your kids have been in our ministries, and you and Heather have served in all across the board. And but knowing that, a few years ago, unbeknownst to any of us, that you'd be on staff, you were already building bridges between the staff and the elders.
Absolutely.
Which is God's hand, right?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Well, and I think to that point, I think that's one of the reasons why, when you started on May 13th, it really was a seamless transition from Brian's leadership to yours. Different leadership styles, but your experience and track record of developing people, I think what you're saying is we'd already experienced that.
Right.
And so it wasn't a new message.
Right.
It was the same thing that you were teaching and leading in when you're chairman of the board, kind of thing.
Right.
And so that's really why I wanted to hire you, is to get you not to be chairman anymore, because I'm tired of you being my boss. Now it's
now I have to work
payback,
for you.
buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, how the turns have tabled. Isn't that what he says?
You could say that again.
So, spill the tea, you guys.
Yeah, no,
What's happening?
No, it's been enjoyable to have you
Thank
on
you.
staff and
Yeah.
stuff. Do you want me to ask the next question?
Sure.
Okay. Because of your corporate training and all the experiences of managing people and things, is there anything that in a bite-sized piece that you would want a church staff to understand that you learned in the corporate setting?
Yeah. I think a couple things come to mind. One is when you work at a large corporation the size of Intel, you have to work effectively as a team. You have to act fast. You have to adapt, because in high-tech world, if you don't, competition beats you.
Yeah.
Right? Customers aren't happy, you name it. And so from day one, your DNA is to collaborate as a team. And I think in churches and in ministries, it's actually very easy for ministry leaders to kind of silo themselves.
Oh, yeah.
And you got to be more intentional.
What?
And so, yes.
At
right?
other churches.
Yeah,
Other churches.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure
right.
it is. Yeah.
And so what I hope to bring is that, hey, when we are adapting some of the similar teamwork, right, we're stronger together. And to be honest, we're delivering the gospel stronger out because we're relying on each other more and in ways that maybe we never realized possible until we started to work together more as a team. The team here does work great together. So I'm definitely not saying that, we need improvement per se, but it's just, it's something that, to your question, I think churches can definitely learn from the corporate world.
Well, and I think too that if that what you just said goes unstated, then we do end up in
Yes,
silos.
yep.
We hear things like stay in your lane and all
Right.
that kind of stuff.
Right.
And I like the idea that we have one lane and we're always in each other's lane.
Yes.
Exactly.
And at least from my perspective, it rarely gets irritating. In fact,
Yeah, rarely. Every once in a while. Sorry.
you'll take
Look,
that
I made
out.
John laugh,
You'll,
too.
you'll edit that out, right?
Hey.
Yeah.
But we are in each other's mess a little bit as far as vocation is concerned, and I love that kind of an atmosphere.
Yeah.
But it can be easy that you retreat in with family ministries, your cocoon, the preaching ministry certainly, family adult ministries. It can happen.
100%.
It can happen.
And I think the other one that I would do would be, or that I would recommend is, companies are very good at driving efficiencies and process development, because if you are constantly pushing for efficiencies, your costs are going down, your profit margin's going up, and your stock price goes up, right? And so they've gotten very good about how to make things as efficient as possible. And so I think in churches, my hope is that we can identify things that maybe we get bogged down with tactically and figure out how to automate things, how to drive efficiencies, because ideally we want every ministry leader not behind a desk. We want them out doing ministry, right, and being with people. And if they're bogged down doing things behind a desk, we want to work on that.
Yeah.
So you're not saying squeeze everything you can out of a ministry leader. You're saying let's streamline some of these extemporaneous processes that everyone has to do as part of their job, whether it's, ordering or filing or email, all of these little, everyone has their thing that they don't really like to do, but it has to be done. How can we streamline that so that we can do the actual ministry?
Exactly.
Like, it only does me so much good as leader of family ministries to sit at my desk. How much better if I'm at someone's baseball game or, taking a kid to frozen yogurt and talking about baptism, but if I'm bogged down with
Green slips.
Tiskies and
Yeah.
he said it.
As an example.
Green slips.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it frees up time to do more important things.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
There's only so many hours in a day, and I want all of us doing ministry.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've worn this corporate world hat for a long time, like pretty much your entire adult life.
Right.
Now you've taken that off, you put on a pastor hat.
Yeah.
Fits you pretty good.
Thank you.
Okay, but what are some ways you've had to think differently as you've approached this role compared to the other roles you've had at Intel?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I would say that the short answer is just a greater dependence on God, right? I mean, in short, the boss in the corporate world, right, is the CEO or the board of directors, right? Our boss here is Jesus,
Yeah.
right? And working alongside the elder board to discern what is it that he wants for the church. And it's easy for the corporate DNA to sneak back up and say, well, hey, you got to do this, you got to have this process and all that kind of stuff. And you got to realize, well, who's really in control? Is it you or is it God? Because like at Intel, we would have an example where, we manage revenue, right? So if revenue was down, that was a numerical data point. Things that was historical, we could rely on, and we could go to the sales team and say, you guys need to drive more sales. What marketing programs do you need? You name it, right? Here, what we do is based on sacrificial giving. Right? It's not something that you flip a marketing switch to go fix. It's something that is in the hearts of individuals and that God controls, right?
Yeah.
The impact is similar, and I would actually say to church even greater because it impacts people. It impacts what we can do ministry-wise. But it's a full reliance on God, and that actually can be, I'm learning, very freeing, right? Because it's not just up to us. But at the same time, I think there's more weight because we all take our calling here so seriously.
Yeah.
We want to do it effectively.
Yeah.
And we're constantly seeking him to say, are we doing the right things? Are we where we need to be? And that weight's super important.
Yeah, and you and I have talked about that weight of ministry,
Yeah.
like if you're any kind of ministry leader listening, you're nodding your head like, oh yeah. And then when you try and explain it, it's kind of hard to explain, but we hope our work has eternal outcomes, right? Not just the bottom line at the end of July or August or September. And so I think that's That's part of where
Yeah.
the weight comes from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that eternality of our work.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was probably true at Intel as it is here working at Arcade, is there's no clock to punch.
Right.
I mean, we're on
Yeah.
all the time, and glad about that. I mean, it sounds, oh, boy, that's tough. No, we love this place, and so we think about, our mind wanders to what we love.
Yeah.
And I think top to bottom on the org chart, we love Arcade, and so we love thinking about it.
Yeah. We're serving, not doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
And some things we got to do just because we got to do it.
Green
Yeah.
slips.
Yeah. Green slips.
Just so you know, green slips aren't like firing someone. It's how we request reimbursement
Yep.
here.
Yeah.
And John
It's our
is working
expense reports.
hard at streamlining that process. Praise be the
Sure going to miss the
Lord.
abacus though. You know, kind of doing the math a little bit there.
That's number 2. Yeah.
But I have to admit,
Yeah.
I have never filled out a green slip.
You know what? Good.
I've never had to do
Good.
that, and I'm grateful.
The lead pastor, right? That's not your job.
Well, I mean, you did a lot of them for me.
yes, back in the day.
Back in the day,
Yep.
and
And
I
that
think
was my job.
it was your job. But now I think you
And I
have
went
someone.
home cursing. Oh, did I say that out
You
loud?
said that out loud. Yes, you did.
You've
But-
had amazing
and-
admins.
but-
Yes,
But
but now
I
I
have.
have someone on my team that does
That does for
me.
you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's valuable.
It
It's,
is.
it's
Yeah.
very important.
Yeah.
Craig,
What?
behold, grab bag time.
You know, even though we've only done this a few times, I'm always. Why am I nervous?
I don't know. Take a deep breath.
I know it's just because Ruth. There's a
She has a
there's
little
a wicked place in her.
little sparkle in her
you know,
eye, a little
and-
twinkle in
yeah,
her eye.
and she's grinning right now, which is very disturbing.
It's so fun, isn't
Yes,
it?
it
Okay,
is.
you ready?
Okay, yeah, I'm
3,
ready. Yep.
2, 1.
Go.
Here we go. Category countdown. Go back and forth naming one item from the category each. No repeats, 3 seconds per turn. First to hesitate or repeat loses. Category, women of the Bible.
I have no idea what you just said.
Okay. We have to go back and forth naming one from the category.
Okay. And the category is
let's
women
say,
from the
let's
Bible.
say it's cold cereal, and you go Cocoa Puffs, and I say Fruit Loops, and then
Okay.
you say,
All right.
but you only have 3 seconds to come
Okay.
up with the next
All right.
one. Okay, women of the Bible is the real category.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
Huldah,
Jael,
Sarah,
Deborah,
Dorcas,
Mary,
Mary, Magdalene,
Junia,
Martha,
Miriam,
Penelope.
Eve,
Is there a Penelope? Yeah, there is. Priscilla,
Phoebe,
Lydia,
Sarah. You already said Sarah. Sarai,
the harlot of Babylon.
Craig, Rahab,
Who?
Rahab,
Eve.
Tamar. I already said Eve.
You did?
Yep.
Hannah.
Did you hear Tamar?
No.
Tamar,
Oh. Rebecca.
Peter's mother-in-law.
What? No. There's got to be a name.
Oh, is that in there?
Oh.
It says go back and forth naming
Peter's
one item. No, one item. You said the whore of Babylon.
I said harlot.
I'm sorry. Harlot. Harlot.
Makes it so much better.
Okay. Peter's mother-in-law.
I got nothing. I just went blank.
Ruth said
what-
we already lost 5 times.
Well, how did we lose?
Repeats.
Oh. Okay.
I still won.
Fine. Whatever. I don't care. I'm not competitive.
All right, you want to go for the next one?
Yeah. You know, you and I have had a lot of conversations. In fact, I mean, I know you two are friends too, so you probably have talked about this too. I'm always curious to ask, what is it? This sounds like a superficial question. I don't mean to be. What is it like to be a deliberate, purposeful, conspicuous follower of Christ? I mean, not in Christian by name, but you are a follower of Christ in an industry where you're a minority, I'm guessing.
Absolutely.
And in many cases, and I can't speak for Intel because I don't know, but in many cases where you are encouraged to not live out your faith in a very deliberate or visible way. What did you experience a lot of that? And if so, what was that like?
I did. So it was
And I know you had a
opportunity-
great, I know
Yeah,
Intel
yeah.
was very good to you.
Oh,
And so,
100%. Yeah, no, I was actually blessed. I had a management team and organization where I never had to pick between my faith or a particular task, which I'm very grateful for. That was the organization that I was in was ethical and did the right things right, which I can't say that about all companies.
Yeah.
But to your question, I would say that the differentiator is the opportunity to bring a leadership style into the corporate world that is not the norm. Like you said, it's the minority. And that's servant-based leadership, which is what Jesus created for us and what Jesus modeled for us, right? And it took me a little while to learn, but I realized over the years that, Intel really was my mission field. And for those listening, I want them to know that regardless of the job they do, regardless of the company you work for, or even if you own your own company, you have a mission field, right? You have an opportunity to be Jesus to the people that you work with, or maybe you oversee, or maybe are stakeholders of yours. And so I made a concerted effort to just constantly kind of examine myself of, hey, am I bringing the servant leadership that Jesus modeled to Intel, to my team, to my organization? And I can confidently say that over the years, the more I did so, the more receptive the team was. Like people craved this type of leadership style, right? It was not the norm. The leaders,
Well, the norm would be top down. I'm your
Bingo.
boss. Do what I tell you to do.
exactly, authoritative.
Yeah.
You've got this benchmark, this KPI, this goal, hit it.
Yeah.
And if you don't hit it, you're not doing your job, and it's all about the results, right? So what I tried to do is, hey, results are important, but not more important than you are as a person, right? And when they started
That had to be
feel,
a breath of fresh air for a lot of those
Right.
people.
I
you
think
know?
so.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. And I, over the years, I got to a point where then I went from managing people to managing managers, and I had the opportunity to tell the managers the same thing. They would try things out with their teams, and they come back and be like, John, it works. Like literally their management survey scores went up. People would come into the office and actually want to be a part of the team. They wouldn't be tempted to leave. And when things got tough, we banded together to help one another because we had this camaraderie where we were willing to support one another and do whatever it took to get the job done, right? We weren't dealing with politics and whether the boss would be happy, right? We just worked together.
Yeah,
And hopefully, all the people that were in our organization felt like they knew they could be, come to me for anything and have that servant-based leadership.
Yeah.
Now there were times when when things got tough. Back on your challenges question, eyes were on me, right? And some knew what I professed, and they would watch and see, okay, how does John react in this, right? And there were times that just with the pressure of the job, I didn't always react the way I should. And at those moments, because of what Christ tells us to do, I went back to them and said, "You want to know what? I didn't handle that well." Right? Or apologize if I need to. And that also was unheard of. And it shows that, okay, John's human just like I am, right? He deals with the same problems I do. And it just leads for opportunities to show a different model of leadership.
That's awesome.
John's never apologized to me ever. Has he ever apologized to you?
So next question. You've apologized
I haven't
to
had
me.
to apologize to Craig.
What?
You've apologized to me.
Oh, absolutely.
And I you.
Probably several times.
Today. Just kidding. Just kidding. No, that's something I learned from just Craig modeling it for me was leaders accept responsibility, right? Deflect praise, accept responsibility. And sometimes it's really hard to accept that responsibility, right? It's hard to apologize. It's hard to eat crow. It's hard to acknowledge, you know what? I was a big fat jerk. I am so sorry.
Yeah, it's humbling.
It is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And by the way, I do think I have apologized to both of you for the record.
Well, there's no record.
Let the record state. Yeah.
No one's taking minutes here.
Are we not
no.
recording this?
We keep no record of wrongs.
Ooh, nice.
Touche.
Quoting the scripture.
Boom, boom. As the Whitney girls would say, boom.
Boom.
All right, next question.
Yep.
What was the hardest part about working in the secular world and following Jesus?
It's a great question. Kind of branching off a little bit to the last answer, right? Is there are those people that knew I professed and they didn't want anything to do with it, and that's okay, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not expected, and being a manager and a leader, I had to be very careful in regards to how I led those people.
Right.
Right. I couldn't force things, right? And nor would I want to, right? I
Right.
wanted to respect, their viewpoints, right? But a lot of companies will say things like, hey, you should be able to bring your whole self to work and you should be able to do and be whoever you want to be. And there is a reality for Christians out there listening in the workplace that's not necessarily true for Christians, right?
Right.
Because
Right.
there is kind of a point where you start sharing your Christian faith or you profess, too much, if you will, then it becomes an HR issue, right? And so, again, thankfully, I didn't have to run into that, right? Those kind of people understood. But at the same time, other things that we faced with were just political and societal trends,
Sure.
challenges, right? So obviously being an industry leader, right? Where the industry is going, where the market is trending, where society is going, large companies follow, right? And sometimes it's challenging to, not immediately accept that current,
Right.
right? I mentioned earlier, thankfully, I've never had to be in a position where I had to choose one over my faith, right? I had an ethical organization that I work for, but there are people out there that do have to face that, right? I mean, Paul says in Romans 12, to be conformed to this world, not to be conformed by this world, but be transformed by the renewing of our mind, right? And Jesus calls us to be lights to the world, right? And really, that's how I dealt with those challenges. And sometimes I'd have the opportunity to present the gospel, and sometimes I didn't, and that was okay.
This isn't on one of the questions we sent you.
That's
but
fine.
I am curious. Do you know of a Christian employee at Intel who did have to go to go to HR because they had foisted their faith on someone, or perhaps they had witnessed, or anything like that? Did you ever see any of that happen?
There were. I know of one particular case where there was something that they claimed their faith in regards to why they didn't want to participate, and
Okay.
they went to HR for that.
Okay.
And in that case, thankfully, HR protected that individual.
Yeah.
That's
great.
good.
But again, that doesn't always happen
Yeah.
either. And
Yeah.
just again, I just think there's recognition that in that corporate world, it is very worldly influenced. I mean, and a lot of times the tone is kind of set at the top. I mean, you turn on the media and you see examples of executives that don't behave like they should. I won't mention Coldplay, right?
Do you know what happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, kind of. I mean, the snapshot is everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean,
Correct.
you can't miss it. But
Well, basically, it's like the CEO and the head of HR,
Right.
yeah,
both married to other people, are caught on camera
on the kiss cam, or something like that.
canoodling. Yes.
Canoodling?
Canoodling,
Canoodling.
we'll say, at a Coldplay concert.
Right.
Yeah. Two married people.
Well, then did I hear that they're going to sue Coldplay? That
I know.
Coldplay is being sued because
Wow.
they did that might be a rumor. I don't know, but I mean,
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah,
We
exactly.
live in a Sue happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that would go to where the integrity's missing.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. The value system is different.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
You've done well so far,
right,
my
good.
Padawan.
All right. Hanging in there.
One last question.
Take a
Do
deep
it.
breath.
This is name three things kind of thing.
Okay.
Okay. Who are your three favorite fellow staffers at Arcade Church?
1, 2, 3.
Wait, which one did he point at?
He pointed to Ethan.
You're
but
number
what
one
about
and I'm
Ruth?
number
Don't
two.
know.
I wanted to be number one.
In all transparency, I thought Ruth was over there. I can't see. There's too many lights.
Oh, so you weren't pointing at Ethan.
Don't point favorites,
But
Craig.
Ethan has headphones on. He's doing other work while we're talking.
Yeah.
He's not even paying attention to us.
He's playing
It's kinda
Fortnite
funny.
over there. So
No, that's not the question.
that's not the question.
Sorry, I hijacked
Yeah.
it.
But suppose, and you've got two college-age sons,
Yep.
and you've got a daughter who's going to be in college here in a couple of years.
A year.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
John's crying.
Man.
Oh, I know. I can't believe it either.
A college grad comes to you and they said, can you give me three ways or three things that I can be able to do to be able to deliberately live for Christ in the workplace? It may not be something like Intel, it could be anywhere. But in the workplace, how can I demonstrate my love for Jesus Christ without going to HR?
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
No, I love that question. The first one may not sound like I'm answering the question, but if you bear with me, it leads into number 2.
Okay.
So the first one is network with as many people as possible. So literally, when you start, learn what everyone does, reach out to stakeholders, understand different aspects of the business that you're in, the company that you're in, the customer, the vendors, you name it, right? Meet and introduce yourself.
Information is king, kind of thing.
Bingo. Yeah. And the reality is it's twofold. You're developing your own network for career development because people are understanding who you are and what you do and what you're capable of. But I'd say more importantly, you're establishing your mission field, right? And so, get to know as many people as possible.
That's
because
really good.
as you learn them, then it's an opportunity for them to see who you are, right? And that leads to number 2, which is understand your Bible, read the word in regards to who does Christ command us to be, and then be that in your workplace. And, from how you treat people to how you act under times of pressure, showing them the fruits of the Spirit, right? And people will be drawn to that. The key is you need to be consistent, right?
Yeah.
So consistently understand, what Christ teaches us in regards to how we need to work, how we need to treat others, and do them.
Yeah.
Right. And the two, item number 1 and item number 2 will complement each other and will establish this mission field and create opportunities for you to be Christ in the workplace without, to be honest with you, a whole lot of concerted effort of, hey, I'm having to go out and, schedule a Bible study.
Right.
That's not even needed.
Yeah.
Right. If you do those 2 things. And then the third one, which I would say is probably more of a personal learning for me and something that as my kids are going into the, college and beyond is corporations and companies will take every hour of your time, energy that you give it.
Yeah.
And you need to have an eternal perspective in regards to how to balancing your time. When you're young, it's very easy to just get pulled in, and every minute of every day is work because you're wanting to grow that corporate ladder. And while that's not bad, right, you got to evaluate in your life, in some areas at what cost, right?
Yeah.
I confess there are things that I've spent time, energy, worry on that I look back and no one even remembers them anymore.
Right.
Right? I mean, it was arguably wasted energy. And so that's another key aspect of, I'd probably say the third, so maybe it's a fourth, but I'll keep it at 3, which is, remember that people aren't going to remember the things you do, right? They're going to remember how you interacted with them.
Yeah.
They're going to remember you as a person, right? So spend the focus on what's important.
That's good. That's good for any
Anyone.
walk of life.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, and we said college grad, but I'm thinking of someone who's decides they're going to be a firefighter or
Yeah.
a welder or
Yeah.
fill in the blank for more of a quote blue collar job. Those are things just we as Christians need to do. So any job a young person is going into,
Absolutely.
all of those things would be good for their Christian walk in their career.
100%.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. What grade do we give him?
Oh, A+. Come on.
Really? Wow.
A+.
Wow.
Hey.
Yeah.
Excellent. I'll take it.
Yeah. It's today only.
Okay, I'm
Today
okay
only.
with that.
He's just going to float the rest
It's
of
day
the
by
day.
day. You won't remember yesterday, remember? It's all good.
Yeah. Well,
No.
John, thanks so much for
course.
being here. And Beth and I, we've had conversations about this offline. It just we're very glad you're here.
I'm glad I'm here too.
And Heather is she's a gem. We love your kids.
Yeah.
They're great, and we've just become a better church with you coming on staff.
Yeah.
The Hatfields have always made it a quality place to be, but it's just it's a quality place to work.
Yeah.
And
Thank
so we're
you.
grateful for that.
Thank you.
Yeah. As you know, this is Behold podcast.
Right.
And so we always end each episode with something about Christ that we want to behold and we want to think about. And just this is one of those where we were talking in the hallway as we're walking to the studio. And we came up with Colossians 3, and it's a familiar passage, but then the one that I think is is even more important is on further down, but I'll read the familiar one. It's Colossians 3, verse 17. And whatever you do, in word or in deed, do everything in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God the Father through him. I think your last response to our last question is exactly that. In essence, you're telling a college student, whatever you do, do it for the glory of God.
Absolutely.
But then further down, verse 23, towards the end of the chapter, Paul writes, whatever you do, do it from the heart as something done for the Lord and not for people, knowing that you will receive the reward of inheritance from the Lord. You serve the Lord Christ, for the wrongdoer will be paid back for whatever wrong he has done, and there is no favoritism. And that's probably the more obscure section of that, just because verse 17 is so great.
It's like a nugget.
Yeah. But I think it's so important that whatever we do it from the heart. We do it out of an affection for Christ. And certainly you did that at Intel. We had many conversations about life at Intel over the years, and we just anticipate that has already happened and it will continue to happen. And you experienced that too, working in the workplace before you came on staff. Yep. And for those of you that I haven't had a job outside the church since I was working in a gravel pit in college. And
God called you out of the pit.
He called, howdy, did he call me out of the pit. Yes, he did.
Howdy.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you both, you've been in the workplace, you know the pressures, you know the stresses, you know the desire to, you want to display Christ. Yeah. And it's just, you got to think about it. It's got to be very purposeful. Yeah. And so I'm very grateful for that. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, John.
Thank you.
Thanks, John.
You're done.
Excellent.
You can go breathe a sigh of relief.
Sounds good.
Well, hey, thank you so much for listening. Craig, this has been such a good episode.
It has.
I'm encouraged, and I hope you are too. Be sure and subscribe, like, comment, share. That helps more people hear about the podcast, more people hear about our church, more people beholding Jesus, which is ultimately our goal. Yep. Until next time, take care. We'll see you around.
See ya.
Bye.